topics that were discussed is still very fresh in my mind. But there's one that was really outstanding, which was understanding my partner's personality, which has now helped me to communicate with him better, especially because he travels a lot for work. So there's always a distance, and communicating on mobile is not the same as communicating face to face. So this was one very important takeaway that I had from the first session that has helped me. And today's session, so far, I'm enjoying it because it's like a refresher of whatever I've learned in the previous session, as well as the childbearing session was really, really informative, answered a lot of questions that I had. And suggestions for the future, perhaps, I don't know, maybe I would like to come here with my kid, to be honest, where I can in fact have it like extending the commitment towards not just my partner but my family. I think it's a very interesting session for not just spouses but family as well.
From JTC 1, it was more of the preparedness towards the future as to not only from the couple perspective but how also to handle family matters, what to prepare for, preferences, where they should lie before, where they were before marriage and after marriage, how they should be. To be more open with your spouse, to have an entire coverage of whatever things are to be prepared for, to be together in good times and in bad. More importantly, I'm grateful for JTC 1.0, at least in our marriages, because it cleared a lot of procedural formalities. We had a session of procedural formalities which was half an hour to 1 hour, but that basically helped me and Ketki a lot for the entire scenarios that were to come. So we thought it's going to be slightly difficult, but when JTC 1.0 came, we were able to clear procedures very simply because we knew now what to get ready for. So now from JTC 2.0, it's just like we prepared for this, but now we are actually in that phase. We are currently married. So are we actually putting into practice what we have learned in JTC 1.0? At least not in full, but at least in part, because it's not been an entire decade that we are married post 1.0. It's just been a short while. So JTC 2.0 is a refresher, especially from the emotional perspective and from the health perspective. Like sister had mentioned, there's a lot of things that no doubt the medical formalities and all the health-based formalities were related to a woman, but a man also has to be prepared that your wife will go through all these phases, will have to follow all these phases. So both have to be on the same page, and we have to be equally patient, because the hormonal imbalances, the issues that occur, the ups and downs that basically happen will happen with her. So if a man is prepared in the same fashion as we were given the session right now, down the line, when it actually does happen, that the day does come, it becomes much more easier for us to reciprocate what is happening, to prepare for best and worst scenarios and with all alternatives. Hence the Q&A session also at the end basically helped understand a lot of grey areas which were not discussed in the previous sessions, or only basically attainable through social media, which I believe is one of the worst ways of getting information right now.
More of like we were able to get to know much more about ourselves and each other as well. And Father Plani's parenting and the communication session was very helpful. And today's
and from JTC 2, we think this is a reminder for us about the things we already know, but not we sometimes fail to remember. In the sense that we already had a session about conflicts, but Father Plani started out on how to manage it in terms of understanding each other's emotional intelligence. So it serves as a reminder for us, and also we had Sister Beena who helped us with childbirthing and about the entire process of the journey from conceiving till the baby is born and the postpartum. And these are things which we have only heard from our family and friends in bits and pieces, but are not really thorough in terms of what are we looking forward to So that was really helpful. From that, I think we both realized that Thomas and I are both different personalities. Earlier, we thought we were very similar, and that's why we got along. But after the course, we both realized that we are actually opposites, and we just had our priorities aligned, and that's what was making it easier for both of us to get along. We realized that though we are different, it's okay to be different, and we can still work things out if we have the right tools and we have the right guidance. We learned about personality styles and conflicts and how to resolve it, so that was really helpful for both of us. And the next question, Thomas will answer.
For today's session, I think the most important part in the morning was relating to emotions, because I realized that most of the times I don't even realize that we had certain emotions, or even if we realized, we didn't know how to deal with it. So that was very helpful. And even with childbearing, there was a lot of gray area, for me at least, regarding how to deal with it, what will happen, what will be the changes. So all those were cleared by sister. And I agree with her that we should have JTC 3.0 when we become parents, so we can deal with children better and give tips to each other, how it becomes easier to manage them.
The best part we liked about JTC 1.0, I would say, is the trekking, because initially we started off, with a fight, and as we climbed up, the hill, we felt that we definitely needed each other to motivate us, to actually reach the end point, and we were successful there.
First session, JTC 1, all sessions and their content and their relevance were amazing. Especially Father Ajoy's session related to conflict resolution. So we felt that it helped us a lot in regard to learning about each other, our communication skills, and that's from the first session. Whereas from the second one, today we learned about dealing with emotions, as well as the second session with childbearing. So emotions, number one, okay, I got to learn a lot, especially me. I don't understand emotions, so for me it's kind of a light bulb event, like okay, this is also there. The next session related to childbearing, okay, a lot of questions were answered, and a clearer picture was given to us.
1.2 was understanding each other's personality. Like I never knew earlier that he was an introvert completely, and then I was an extrovert completely. Then we settled to manage that gap between each other's personality, and then the preferences, the priorities which we had. We were able to list down all of them that time, and then we could just it helped us really in our course of life. And the best part from JTC 1.0 was the trek as well, which we had. It was a wonderful experience. And the suggestion is obviously 3.2 or maybe more sessions for us, so that we understand and build each other and our community as well.
2.0, I mean, really, and the knowledge which was shared by Dr. Beena was on one-on-one session, questions and answers, that got us a lot of knowledge. 3.0, I leave that to you. You are great at sessions.
2 years back, when we were just married and came for JTC 1, we learned how to handle relationship, how to handle each other, family relations, and if any difficulty occurs, then how to handle situations in difficult time. And today session is refresher for us. Handling each other's emotion is very important, and waiting for next JTC reunion when we become parents and to learn how should be parenting.